Thank you so much, Anne, and I do agree everything that's been said in this panel before. And as I see it, and the title, The Axis of Evil, we can look at the world, and I think the world is on a war. It's war against democracies versus autocracies, or the axis of evil and the axis of weak. Anyway, we look at it. And Ukraine is only a forefront of this battle of values that is going on. And I see that the real aim isn't only territorial or geopolitical, it's actually to do with questioning the whole rule-based order we set up together after the Second World War. So these autocracies are questioning the whole UN system, the whole rule-based order, attacking other countries, and that's why this is our war that Ukraine is fighting, and that's why it's our time also to do something. But why aren't democracies acting? Why aren't we acting in a way that we are sending enough support, and not only enough, but fast enough? Because the problem isn't only the pledges, the problem is actually that we are not giving the ammunition, we are not giving the military material that Ukraine needs fast enough. It takes a lot of time, and then Russia can continue to be the aggressor that it is. And why are we giving enough financial support, or why aren't we tackling the real matter of the Russian frozen assets? It's only step by step, too slowly again. So why aren't we supporting enough, even though we are in this war of values? We are here in the side of defending the whole international rule-based order, but we are not acting like we are the defenders of this international rule-based order. I think it's about two things. It's about that we are the frog, not in boiling water, but slowly heating water. We are not seeing what is really going on in the world, and we don't want to see what is going on because it's so comfortable still in this warm water. It's too comfortable. And we are trading with China, we are trading with different countries that have totally different values and interests that democratic countries are, but we are comfortable with this trade, we are comfortable with this economy side, we are comfortable of thinking the world as we want it to be, not how it really is. So we want the world to keep on the pace and the speed and the way of this thing that we were used to. Like this, things will go peachy and things might go smoothly, and we can trade and we can do good business with these autocracy countries. So we are in a good way, we are in this warm water and we are still very comfortable. And another thing why we are not supporting enough is to do with our own democratic systems, because there are different ways of thinking, there are different values, and this is also linked to the informational side that you were asking, Anne. We are challenged within our countries. There are people that are thinking in Europe, for example, right now, that we are supporting too much. We are supporting too much Ukraine, we are spending too much money in Ukraine. Why won't the war just stop? We are wanting the war just stopping, and we are not seeing that it's actually our backyard. It's not only Ukraine's problem, but it's our problem. And people within the countries, democratic countries and democratic structures, are thinking, why are we supporting, why are we using our money, why are we using our time? And now we are seeing it in the news. Less and less news about Ukraine, not only in Southern Europe or Western Europe, but also within, for example, Finland or the countries that are closer to the border and knows the threat and the acuteness of the situation much more than, for example, Spain or France. We Finns, Poland, many other countries near the border know the acute threat, and we can feel the threat. But still, we are also losing sight. We are also forgetting. People are now concentrating on their everyday lives, their own interests, their own things that they worry about, and they are forgetting about Ukraine. So we have problems within our countries. And then there's this social media and the internet and everything involved with blooming of false news and fake that and different kind of narratives. And people are it's not only a problem that there is these false narratives everywhere that's also been done and created in Russia and elsewhere, but also that people know that they are false, but they don't care if it supports their own way of thinking and their own values and their own narratives and their own way of thinking within the democratic structures they are sharing. So question is more complex, I think, than only that there's informational warfare or different kind of hybrid threats, but it's also that people in the Western world and in the democratic countries, they don't necessarily care, is it false or is it the truth? They will share anyway. And the media is gaining money of these very polarized narratives and stories, and the more negative, the more it sells. So it's very, very complex, the world and the informational space that we have to work our ways. So it's not only that the leaders are bad, I think they should be more courageous, but they are leaders of democratic countries and by the people. And if the people are in midst of this informational warfare and different kind of making money out of this.
Yeah, so the assault on truth and on institutions that seek to verify facts, whether it's universities or whether it's the media or whether it's ombudsmen or government systems, is an autocratic tactic. I mean, there's actually been a war on those institutions, and that's one of the reasons why I think what you've described has
But there are also a lot of people within the democratic countries, for example, in Germany. Who would have guessed? I wouldn't guess when I was a student that once again we would see uprising of Nazi movement within Germany. It seemed
But that's the result of a long-term project.
It's rising. So actually the autocracy values is rising within the democratic countries and within the democratic systems. And this is the second war that we are going on. The war against this axis of evil or axis of the weak, but also within our democratic framework and our democratic structures, that there is this autocracy based value way of thinking.
And it's being encouraged by the autocratic world.